What's going on, everybody? It's Prowler here, and in today's video, we're going to be going over my gear bag for 2025. Since the new season's here, I figured it would be the best time to go over and check out everything I'm going to be running on the field this year. Before we get into it, I know I have been missing a lot of uploads. I've been super busy, because of school and other things like that, but I'm going to try and get back into the swing of uploading like maybe twice a month. Hopefully I stick to that. If not, whatever. Also, it's the first video of the year, so I think now is a good time to mention that hopefully my goal is that by the end of this year, we hit 100 subscribers. I think we can do that. We're over halfway there. We got this. Come on. Anyway, let's get into it. For starters, we have a nice Planet Eclipse gear bag. It's a nice gray camo. Has a big pouch right here that holds most of the stuff, but there's also a smaller bag over here and a couple other little compartments, I think. But let's get into it. Starting from the top, working our way down, we have a Condor tactical hat. This is what I wear underneath my mask all the time. Has a nice little flashlight on here. Pretty useful, especially at big games when I'm walking from the field or something and it's nighttime. Have a Hero outdoor patch right now because that's just what I've been rocking. Next up, this is my mask case. It's a carbon mask case. Has a nice bag right here, and the main compartment is where I keep my mask, obviously. Inside this mask case, you will find my Empire EVS. This is the mask I use all the time. I've been using this thing for years. Man, it looks messy though. Holy crap, I gotta give that a little bit of a clean. Right now I'm using a mirrored lens on it, so as you can see, a nice mirror finish to it. But I also do have a completely clear lens, and over here, a black tinted lens. Unfortunately, that one is kind of broken, but it does still work, so it does the trick. Moving on. I don't even know what you call this thing. It's just like a neck guard for me, though. I tie it up around my neck. It's like a scarf, a neck guard looking thing. It's camouflaged. It's a light material, so it breathes really well. And it honestly saves my neck a lot. And a lot of the time, it'll just catch the ball and make it so it doesn't blow up, which kind of saves me. This may be subject to change, as it is kind of falling apart lately. There's a couple holes and stuff in it. The center pouch here is being held together with a zip tie. It's seen some better days, but I might be getting this a new vest. But this currently is the vest that I'm running. It's a Gen X Global vest. I do like it because it has a lot of spots for patches, just a big collection of them. Also, we have our squeegee over here, super crucial. You need this when you're playing. And up top here, we have a little knife sheath that I have on my vest. I'll show you guys the knife later on when I'm going over the weapons, but other than that, this is the vest. Has lots of pouches, mag spots up here. Like I said, that's kind of broken, this pouch here, so I don't really use it. As for the back, not much going on, just lots of pod spots. Even though I typically run mag fed, sometimes I don't. And even when I do, sometimes I would like to have a nice pod in the big game so I can reload mags on the fly. Moving on. Next up, we got the undershirt. This is what I wear underneath my vest. Has lots of patches on here as well. Other than that, it's just a light material, black undershirt. I typically roll it up, as you can see here. This does the trick for me. Still has lots of spots for patches. It's pretty useful. It does the trick. Sometimes you might catch me wearing just a tank top if it's hot out, or if I'm playing medic and I don't have a crap ton of ammunition that I need to carry, then I won't be really running the vest, which means I won't be running this. Moving on. Next up, we have the pistol holsters. So if you've seen my videos before, you know that I typically run dual pistols. These are Tipman pistol holsters, so they fit for Tip-X perfectly, which is the guns I run. Still have some CO2 cartridges in there. That's what power my pistols. Little mag spot in there, you can't really see it. There you go. Both of them are the exact same, except they're mirrored, so can go on either leg. That's pretty much it. They do the trick. They've been used a lot. They're really old, but they're still together, so that's good. I can't actually find the other one, but somewhere else in my gear bag, there's another one of these gloves. These are my fingerless armored gloves. I love these things. These things have saved my hands countless times just from getting nice shots on the top there. And you might think, well, your fingers are still exposed. Doesn't really matter. I typically don't get shot there, and there still is a little bit of finger protection here, as you can see. But they do the trick. I think they're like 15 bucks, so these things are sweet. Now I just gotta find the other one. Just a quick one, you need a microfiber. When you're playing, you definitely need one of these. These things are lifesavers. This is a nice one I got gifted by someone that owns a speedball team. Long story there, but yeah, so this is one I've been using recently. Love this thing. Real quick, like I said earlier, we're trying to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you're enjoying what you're watching, please hit that subscribe button. It would really help me out. Next up, we got pants. So these are brand new. I actually haven't used these yet on the field. These are just some nice paintball pants. They're meant for paintball. They have some knee pads built in here. Lots of pockets. These are seem like they're great, but I really can't say that they are because I haven't used them. But I'm just going to go ahead and say that they look pretty great, and I feel like they're going to do the job really well. My last ones held up for a long time. They were a matching set to the top. The only problem is that I kind of got a couple holes in them now, so I didn't really want to sew them up. I just want to buy a new set. I almost forgot. This is my dump pouch. This is where I throw my magazines. This hangs off my belt. Has a nice little elastic band here, so everything will go in and not fall back out. Sweet, love this thing a lot. As you can tell, it's taken a couple hits as well. Moving on to the weapons. First up, we have the rubber knife. It doesn't typically look like this with all the tape on it. The last event I played was at Wasaga, and I haven't taken the tape off because the rule there was if it's a melee weapon, it has to have tape on it. One shot, you're out. Pretty simple. And this typically goes on my vest in that sheath that I showed you guys. Next up for the weapons, we got the dual pistols. These are my primary weapons that I'll typically be running. These things are very, very solid. I've had them for a long time. And before me, they were my brothers, so they've been around the family for a long time, and they do the trick. The only difference between them is one of them, this one, has an engraving on top. I don't even know what that means. I didn't do that. That was my brother before me. That is the only difference between these two. Typically, I'll be running with extendo mags. These hold 12 rounds instead of the typical 8 or 7. I do, although, have the 7 or 8 round mags as well. These are just what I would prefer. The next two guns aren't actually mine. They're my buddies. And I just haven't returned them yet, but I will be doing that hopefully soon. But I'm going to show them off anyway because I have them, and I might use them sometime this next season. This is the Tippmann X7. I think I was using this at the Wasaga event, I think, for a little bit. So it might make it into a video. I don't know. It did the trick really well. If I unfold the stock, it looks like it's meant to look like a UMP, kind of. I don't know. I like the look of it. It does the trick. It's a pretty good gun. This is another gun that I have borrowed from my buddy and do plan to return soon. But like I said, I might use them sometime. So yeah, this is a 98 custom. It's been modified a little bit on the inside so it holds together a little bit better. Longer barrel, you know, pretty basic. Has a stock that does fold out on the other side. I'm just not going to do that right now because it is incredibly long when it does that. But yeah, it's a solid gun. Now moving away from the solid guns, this is a Hammer 7 converted into a sniper. It used to be pump action, now it is bolt action. Looks really pretty, I will give it that, but other than that, it doesn't really do the trick, unfortunately. The standard Hammer 7 mags have been replaced with die-dam mags. I'm not sure if that's what they're called, but I think most people know what I mean. If you don't, these are what I'm talking about. These double-sided mags hold 6 on each side. These things are pretty great. I love these. So it's really nice that this thing has that. The only problem is that it's not accurate, and the FPS always changes on this thing, so it's never shooting consistently. I don't know. I've had it for a while, and I haven't really put in much effort into it. Unfortunate, because it is pretty sweet, but also it is a sniper, and I'm not made of money, so I can't be going out there and spending, you know, a crap ton of money on first strikes to make this thing work, because it does work with round ball, just not as well, right? Like every other sniper. So, I mean, I might come out with a video using this sometime, I don't know, but it's not really on the agenda anytime soon, although it does look pretty sick, so I do still bring it to events just to show it off. This is arguably the best gun I have. It's a Tippmann A5, but it does not look like one anymore. It is hopper fed, although a lot of people don't notice that because of the sleek profile. Has a hollow scope right here, has a laser, not on right now. Incredibly long barrel, makes it pretty accurate. Also, everything inside of this, all the internals, everything to do with this is metal. So all the plastic has been replaced with metal, which in turn makes it incredibly reliable. I love this thing. The only problem is that it's incredibly heavy. So I don't have a scale with me, but my friends refuse to use this because of its weight. So that should give you a little bit of an idea of how heavy it is. But honestly, I love it. I think it's great. You guys will probably see me running around with this thing quite a lot. Lastly, I haven't used this thing in so long, but I still own it, so I will show it off. This is my Tippmann Cronus. This is my starter gun. Anybody that's looking for a cheap gun, they're not really planning on playing a lot, but they do want their own, I would recommend this. It's pretty cheap and it does the trick. So that's about it. That's kind of like the last thing. I'm sure there's a couple things I missed. If you guys have any questions about any of that, just leave it in the comments. I'd love to answer that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later.